get say from the 1st of this year, we don't become a non-permanent member of the Security Council. So now we're in the big player, and now this and talk and exchange ideas. If they want to do something, they're not just go do one. We now want the one that we get for talk to. You know, so this is not the public notice. We come out on the 11th of March 2024. And therefore, now so we'll end the updates. And we come now to guest them. And I also talk to Professor Sarfodi. Professor Sarfodi, a fine gentleman, as I say. We get a responsibility as directed by the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. In for updates on poliovirus cases and Sierra Leone preparedness for health outbreaks. Professor Sarfodi will ask you very quickly, before you talk about Sierra Leone preparedness and readiness, right, for this outbreak of polio. This institution will be the head, which is important. Why was it created? Which are the job and the task at hand for you for do? And which are the nexus and how you get yourself involved in this outbreak of polio? And then you can now go and talk about Salone preparedness, right, for this outbreak of polio. And also exactly don't broke outside and which one are you doing for the future?
Thank you very much, Mr. Silla, and I want to thank you for giving this opportunity for coming to talk to the press. For the one that we don't know about the National Public Health Agency, this is an agency where His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabio, launched on the 14th of December last year. Agency or for established agency, I will make sure Sierra Leone in the position for early detection and quick response to any public health emergency. The operations of this agency are unique compared to other agencies, similar agencies we have established in other parts of the world. We can see actually the override on the primary health care architecture of the Ministry of Health, which means even with outbreak now we will still continue for work. We use the structures within the ministry, the community health workers, the way they are the least PHU for work with them so that we can get information. We will continue for active surveillance and also for sample referral from the least PHU to headquarters in Freetown or with other public health laboratories. Responsibility include, as I say, early detection and quick response to outbreaks. The pillars them with this agency get all the pillars them we responsible for response to outbreak. We get a surveillance pillar. We're very, very active, a very robust surveillance pillar. We get the laboratory pillar. We are then responsible for actually test any sample that they take from the field. And we get the case management pillar. In case there is an outbreak, people that get infected, that pillar they are responsible for the management of their case then. Then we get a very, very important pillar with our risk communication, where they engage the media for telling people them waiting their own community engagement with community leaders and other stakeholders. They will get the IPC pillar, the infection prevention and control. We also get and then we get the psychosocial, because anything we do, you can get psychosocial support. So in essence, this the agency who is excellent in fit for established in this country, because we will be far back. HE take this initiative so that we will be at par with colleagues and the Salone and other parts of the world. So now almost 3 months going, but we achieved quite a lot. And with operations, they ride on the One Health platform. That is, where activities not only limited to human health, but also animal health and the environment. We know say most diseases when they come in humans, they come from animals or from the environment. So in a nutshell, that's not the National Public Health Agency. Now we are zooming on the current polio problem. The first report we will get now, a report from Gambia, where a reach we through lab say polio type 3 variants, they don't detect them inside the stool of a 1-year-old child. Gambia. And have been constant to it. So immediately we activate the various architecture now agency. The following day we get another report, because as I say, during outbreak and also when outbreak we will continue with surveillance. So the regular environmental surveillance testing find out for polio variant type 2 this time around. Now sewage samples na Mabela, Western Urban. This gives some concern, so immediately we activate the response at the EOC to level 2, where it is prepare we for respond adequately to the outbreak. Currently, we work with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the WHO, the UNICEF, and USCDC, and all with other technical partners, so that we will implement a comprehensive response plan. Standing ongoing now, because we don't deploy a team now to then 2 locations, then Akambia and Western Urban Mabela, so that they will do a risk assessment, they continue for collect samples, and the community engagement. All the leaders then will engage them so that we prepare them, because the response they get for be multifaceted, because one will get involved in vaccination. Picking them when they're not vaccinated, then prone for this disease. Polio, they don't declare Sierra Leone as polio free. Therefore, if we get one case polio vaccination, we talk to community leaders them, so that then will encourage them communities them for participate fully in this polio vaccination. Then we also look at the commitment of the civil society organizations for help in this drive. So the update on waiting happen at Gambia and Freetown, current response and current posture for the polio.
So I'll tell you plenty. Thank you. One other question again off the top of my head while I'm answering this. With all of your efforts there, if something happens, can I get any contact number where somebody capable for reach, if there's probably an emergency at any other day, or just general?
Yes, we did our press release with contact number then the website, then Minister of Health, LPHO website, but the contact numbers and the flyers they will go us out.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you plenty. Thank you. Which we will do before the end of the program, Professor. We'll probably get their contact numbers in there, and we use this platform also, and we share them, so that the public will also know just one more effort for help for kids education, right, and a civic perspective to that, so that if something happens, people will know side for contact and how for do it. I'll tell you plenty. Thank you. We will now go to the minister. As I will say, the minister and I very first time this for Kamnaya. His Excellency the President has seen all the sardine safe now. But that sardine they go for take a hand, either people test and go out to the country. But that is to show Deputy Minister, that now for sure say we will talk about certain things in government in terms of reaching our aspirations and drive. President Leone the joke. So this is the first ever sardine manufacturing company in the sub-region. Not begin no other sign as Salone. They call her Sabco sardine. So me was the beginner no more now. As you go and share shop, then I know they buy no other again now. Sabco. I all have a responsibility for promote to look at content. But the Honorable Deputy Minister at some point before the end he will not small. And you will also let know whether you don't taste out or you don't taste a hit. You know, because see the workout one part the product there. So on that note, I go out for call on the Minister Nabila Tunis, welcome her. Wish you well in your new office as Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. Just a few questions. I mean, as you go get your 5, 6, 7 minutes for top what you ministry. Waiting at the vision and plans for transform Salone tourism sector. How much work has been done by right? Obviously, if a ring and can this far, you now as stated by His Excellency the President for taking.
To the Ministry of Information and Communication for hosting me here today at thank you. To my Muslim brother and sister them Agrituna Ramadan to we all. Also for me sister them, me auntie them, I wish you a happy Women's Month. Thank you so much for the question we asked. First of all, government's not continuity. We all realize that, say, each and every individual, they come in with their own role, and it's all part of the bigger, government trajectory and development process where they don't put forward. In development, we're also responsible for promote, Salone as an environmentally friendly tourist destination for, again, economic growth. And as a ministry, we also get agencies that we're on the way. We get the National Tourist Board, for which you see the General Manager, Dinaya, today with me. We also get the Monuments and Relics Commission, the Administrative Manager and current Chair. I guess it's something in the inside the wood somewhere. We get the International Theatre Institute, we get the National Museum, and we get also the Railway Museum. Basically, their institutions, they are, like I said, are responsible for the delivery of the mandate at every given time. When I come in, I look at the mandate and I actually realize, say, we could definitely need where we get for accelerate progress. So the first thing what I do now first of all, I hold extensive discussions across, Sierra Leone with the private sector, with ministry officials, with previous ministers. In fact, I still in touch with the previous ministers and I talk to them on a regular basis. And discussions, and they're able to give me a rounded view as to within the tourism industry they go through at that point in time, and give me an idea as to who side I go out for take the ministry. But again, all of them discussions, they are kind of brought neatly into a discussion, and the main discussion I get with His Excellency the President, where we get a brainstorming discussion as to how to see the ministry move forward, and give me your guidance, which I'm very grateful for. So certainly we come in wanting to have a private sector driven industry. The tourism industry is better suited when you get a private sector driven industry, because we all know, say, when we look at the tourism industry itself, majority of the investments we don't go don't be done by the private sector itself. So when we talk about hotels, restaurants, establishments, and private sector, not all government led, but government also creates the enabling environment for letting be able for make good of the investments in. So we feel to say the first thing we're coming for do say I want to get a private sector driven industry, and therefore I start for aggressively engage, with the private sector itself. Another thing where we feel to say exist, whether it's a partnership with UNDP and future partnerships with other donor-related agencies and private sector. We push aggressively for this, and we're also having very extensive discussions and partnerships with the UN Tourism as well. And one thing where we also noting the current requests where they coming from, several other touristic destinations. We find out ensuring that we use tourism as a strategy, for the horrible effects of climate change, and for manage environmental degradation. And one thing we will also go adopt. So in terms of the journey, the industry or the sector in journey from 2018, we all realize, there's been a heightened increase in engagement in the sector, because the current leadership under His Excellency the President, realized, tourism an important contributor to economic growth. And interestingly, in the previous plan, where we get the honor for offer in the 2018 medium-term national development plan, I'll be able, through the guidance of His Excellency the President, put tourism as one of economic growth sectors. And therefore, it drew a lot of attention from World Bank and other agencies and donors, and they start to pump a lot of money into the sector. So through the Sierra Leone Economic Diversification Project, a lot of money was put into the tourism sector, for which they'll be able to develop, parts of the tourism for it to become more engaging and more visible within our landscape and outside Sierra Leone. Because again, Sierra Leone gets all the right ingredients for promote tourism. So through the sledding, they're able to invest into capacity building. They're able to allow we as a country for ramp up engagements like international trade fairs and give you a presence. They also go further, for getting marketing destination reps and give you a lot of support in terms of the marketing aspect. So Nadande will be done they do from 2018 as a government. And in terms of what we don't do, I take up the leadership on the 4th of August 2023, and obviously we all know about the Big Five, saying that the government in current trajectory, the new national medium-term national development plan, anchored on the Big Five, where we get feed Salone and the other complementary sectors there. So obviously when we come in, apart from the consultations, we are able to assess the staff strength, are able to assess staff capacity, competence, and willingness for work. Because one thing we family need to understand is that currently in the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, we only run on about 50% of the actual desired staff strength, and at the same time for the agencies, we're grossly understaffed. But at least the staff then highly motivated and competent, for able to drive delivery in that limited and restricted space where they get. So training, capacity building, staff confidence for me is important, because as a minister, if I get to succeed and I have a duty for deliver on behalf of Excellency the President, when I'm in the spotlight here, I'm here to serve. And if I get to succeed, I also get to look at the foundation upon which my success get to be embedded on. So training, capacity building, staff confidence be really important. So one of the first things they want to do, and for the first time in the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, we're able to secure scholarship for 25 staff members for letting go out for go study. And then staff members, they come back, they do exceptionally well in their various disciplines within the ministry. And, just not only the staff, but also we look at the subvented the agencies as well, we fall, under the ministry, and we're able to allocate, spaces to them for travel and go at no cost, to government. I also start for give responsibilities to staff for ensure they get a free hand for work. Staff is really important for letting also get access to it, because for me, learning process, this is a new sector, I don't get the required competence or basically the knowledge where somebody who don't get with or in the sector for a long time. So I really rely, on the expertise and experience of the staff. So we get this open door communication, and where staff they get access to me, and we said they consult with them on a regular basis. And even though I really get few staff, I really get encouraged by the potential we then get and the wealth of experience. And I will share with you, later on how we don't need work for Leone also get a proper insight into the ministry itself and its workings. And definitely we don't do, distribution of our labor. We get people that really run tasks within, the ministry. So what we don't actually do again is currently we just don't finalize a 10-year tourism strategic master plan. We supported by the World Bank. They start this process in, I think, 2022, and we just don't conclude. I also don't make any inputs into the tourism strategic plan, and we go launch Dande in the next couple of weeks. I also don't commission a management and functional review of the ministry, because when I come, I see the ministry in structure need for be strengthened according to the current thinking and the current positioning and the instructions where His Excellency the President give me. So for let we not get a mismatch, I make sure we do a management and functional review, and we're just from that meeting right now where we don't go discuss the enhanced structure where the ministry will operate along. We will give it more professionalism and allow for staff mobility and training and other facilities we will help for make it more professional. And this particular management and functional review is being led by the permanent secretary and the deputy secretary. And the permanent secretary is Mr. Kwame Yansi, and the deputy secretary that they lead this particular aspect. We also get a 5-year strategic plan with in progress. We get with other staff, Mr. Fula, with a policy analyst, in the lead on Dande, and is supported by Mr. Bundo and a few other staff. We do an annual work plan for the ministry. Dande said we not be get strategic plan, but we're also working on that in a day. And then tasks and they assigned to staff for letting lead on our. We also review the 1990 Tourism Development Act. A review we don't start already, but it not be done completed yet because of the master plan and several other things that we, kind of the emerging at the tourism industry where we feel we need for incorporate for giving the legal status for able for implement, tourism and take on to the level that is desired by His Excellency the President. So the review of the 1990 Tourism Act is still ongoing. And another thing where we don't do, like I said, partnerships really critical for we. So we also don't engage, the UN tourism. When I've been formally UNWTO to the highest level. Maybe we don't we engage, we get a meeting with the UN Tourism Secretary General. And Sierra Leone has been asked to continue to chair, the WITLAC platform, a platform of the women tourism ministers in Africa. And that will help for, enhance the space for women, especially, women within the tourism industry. So obviously, when I don't see the Budapest rally, even though they happened for the past couple of years, they came to Sierra Leone this time, the third time, and this time they're kind of unique in its own way because they don't commit, based on the interaction, they don't commit, for hold the Budapest rally Naya till 2030. But there are some things that we need for do as a country for make sure that they can happen seamlessly. We also see listing of Bula and TY, on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites is also ongoing. Dande led by Ismail Kamara, and Budapest as well is led by Abdul Malik and a few other staff. We also don't complete the process for declare new sites as national monuments. We include the cotton tree and the Annie Walsh Memorial School, the building. We also get World Bank where we don't do work based on under the sledding program. World Bank, they upgrade sites then, we already get good touristic sites, but the World Bank don't come in for enhancement sites there. So then they upgrade like sites such as Takugama, Leicester Peak and Bure Beach. Some of these areas are close to the general public because extensive work they go on, supported by the World Bank. We also don't train 800 women. There are women there in handicraft, Dara, they graduated last month. This set again another activity we supported by the World Bank. That'll be a 4-month training we start in, I think it was in November last year, and then graduates, earlier on this year. We get the Go Circular Recycling as well through the Pro Blue World Bank initiative. On Agonon we do a lot of beach cleaning and for introduce, responsible management of waste from source and introduce recycling as well as a practice by us as Sierra Leoneans. And the World Bank also come in for support through Premier Environment Solutions. We do their activity. In terms of the marketing, marketing guru Naya, the general manager of the National Tourist Board, Idea, but I will just briefly speak about what we don't already do from where I'm coming. We don't attend a few road shows, a few fairs, to understand the market and to see how we can adapt, we own product for suit, the market out there to attract as many people as possible. So, with the help of the marketing destination reps, Sierra Leone don't be admitted, into two associations, ASA and ATA. These are associations, they are large and thriving associations. We get a plethora of tour guides, travel agents at their disposal, and being a member into the one, they give you limitless opportunities for promote, Sierra Leone as a destination, and also for networking and several other, opportunities than these. One of them aimed at the German and Scandinavian markets, and the other one now UK. So we're dealing with different focus as it is right now. On regional tourism as well, opportunities are on the table. We don't get discussions with Ghana and Gambia. We look at how Sierra Leone can come in and complement the efforts. We all know the problems we've been having, with airfares, and because we get certain things that we will not be able to change so easily. As a ministry, we're strategizing for suit, for position reset with the current problems we get. So we're constantly thinking outside the box, and we utilize, the tools that are available to us. So this regional tourism opportunity we will pursue very aggressively as well. That's something that the way we don't start. Obviously, again, with culinary gastronomy, with fabrics as well, don't also they make, some sort of prominence, take prominence at the international scene. So these are some things that we really do. Again, I do another creative industry symposium when I go find out, say, Ministry of Tourism, it's Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. But in line with the expanded structure we propose and where we don't work with the PSRU, we also don't encompass creativity within the new structure. We don't encompass private sector relations. We don't encompass resource mobilization. So we have a new expanded structure where we'll still deal with the staff that we get, but again, it is based on evidence. So we had a creative industry symposium where Dr. Spencer, Julia Spencer, one of the advisors, came to me pro bono, instead help for steer down the EN director Fudi Jalo, and we get also a wealth of experience in culture. We instead lead we go now with a few other sites that we don't discover. We're in a potential touristic sites there. We get this symposium also for kind of equip we better for understand how we can bring in creatives very strongly into the ministry, because we all know say the 500 jobs where we look at where His Excellency don't put forward, the creative industry is that space there, the hospitality space can really provide an ample percentage of their jobs, and if we're able to harness the skills and talents of the young people and alike. So that is another focus of the ministry. We also don't secure funds in the short time for construct a pavilion within the ministry premises. That they don't be ongoing right now. It's being led by the permanent secretary himself. In terms of communications and staff engagement, I will find out soon that you see more staff, on the media. We get Ali Kondo is responsible. We get Fatmata Samura, Abdul Malik Bari, Jane, a lot of them, don't they really engage, on the media. And this is just for the ministry, the agencies as well, really also they engage a lot. In terms of professionalism, we incorporate accountability into some of the work streams. So for example, when it comes to the tour guide, we get Tour Guide Association, and because we want to make sure say transparency and accountability, embedded in whatever it is that they do, we don't introduce tour guiding certificates. This is done by Claude. Claude is also really good. He's one of them when I work closely with the tour guides. And we also don't encourage regular training, to ensure, they're properly equipped. And one thing we look at in terms of the transparency and accountability, since we deal with tourists most of the time, now for introducing, therefore they get police clearance, just like how we ministers can get police clearance before we take up assignments. This is something also we will introduce into the tour guiding system for letting them get regular checks and regular police clearances. We will make them, eligible for the artist tour guides. In terms of revenue mobilization, also that's another aspect where the ministry they look at. We want to be self-sufficient and in line again with His Excellency's directives. We don't try for increased tariffs. From 2018, they don't ever increase tariffs, and we will find out saying, there's been a general increase in the price of goods. People they don't increase their own costs there, but the tourism industry has been largely, dormant on that. But we see, based on the fact that we want for pushing the pressure on them, we don't go in for an increment. We go also help you for raise more revenue. But the increment has been done, with the consideration that yes, we get institutions, then we get they struggle with finances. So we don't get that. They work very closely with the NRA for implement the 2% tourism levy. We get buses as well that we rent out on a regular basis, and we get plans and they underway for increase the revenue mobilization through other means that we are want to elaborate on Naya. In terms of policy, we upgrade policy. It's a continuous process, as you may know. We get several policies, thanks to the staff, for developing several policies that we can meet. But again, it's a continuous process. Currently, we develop a beach management policy where Director Mohamed Jallo and his team, they lead on. That beach management policy, this policy development will be different because in the next couple of days when we don't do the final discussion at the MDA level, we upload this document for then people from the general public comment on it, so we could have a document with holistic and representative of human views there. So we do that as well. So I think I don't say some Mr.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You always, and this is something where I don't know over time, with experience, when you ask anybody question and it gets so much for talk, it takes time. But then also because a lot is happening. I think this is about the best time for me staff at the Ministry of Tourism. I don't know if after this press conference, if I can officially take transfer, 25 staff there, don't go for training. There is a functional review, 5-year plan, 10-year strategic work plan, all of them they put together. It shows that Madam Nabila Chinis on day one hit the ground running and try to make sure say tourism play your part in national development and responsibility. Right, and one for tell and thank you, His Excellency the President, not make any mistake. From 2018 to now, for don't keep our cabinet. Now the thoroughness is what we don't see from the one. Now you don't bring calm and the Ministry of Tourism and for which you tell and thank you. Una definitely will get the opportunity for ask questions very soon. But then I very quickly turn to the General Manager, National Tourist Board. I'm struggling to get the new name because it's my sister. And I have to call my Mr. But for official purposes, Naya, Fatmata, Mida, Hamid, Keru. Naya, the General Manager, National Tourist Board. So,
the environment in a manner where it fits within the overarching ambition of the minister in terms of the objectives of that sector there. And I will give you 5 minutes. Minister supposed to get some latitude for talk as long. We're not going to say so now for the chairman.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Me, your minister there, so I got for talk with the permission of my minister. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So, why waiting to happen along the beach? Why the demolition? Why the restructuring? My minister don't talk boku. And from what he talk, what we don't do, especially in the international marketing and promotion. But good thing they happen at Salone now. And I will start for say, if I talk, the CNN travel magazine identifies Salone for both 2023 2024 as the most 50 places for visits in the world. Wanderlust identifies Sierra Leone again as the new emerging destination for visits. This Wanderlust na UK-based CNN travel magazine na the North America-based magazine. There you get Johnny Cation, which is Germany-based, where describes Sierra Leone as upcoming 10 destinations for visits in the world. Sunday Times, which is also UK-based, the travel aspect, also they do an article on Sierra Leone, and it promotes Sierra Leone for being one of the topmost ecotourism destinations. The minister don't talk about all the entire, the National Geographic Germany-based as well, National Geographic also identifies Sierra Leone as one of the most exciting ecotourism destinations for 2024. All the good things they happen for tourism, but they come with a cost, the feedback. Most of these people, they came to Sierra Leone for look at the product. And one of the things where they criticize now the kind way where we beach them there, the kind way where we beach them not properly structured, the kind way we think it all represent, okay, and for an upcoming international destination where we they promote. So we begin get them feedback then here. And also we they get a whole lot of feedback from the general public. We get about 8 million people in Sierra Leone where they criticize the manner in which the beach day. The beach day in an unsightly manner where it's not good for the environment. So they talk about climate change. They send to what's happening in river number 2 where climate change effects happen there. So waiting at the reason. Most of these beach bars the way we give are more testing for sale. Now we give them allocation for operate beach bars, and not a permanent structure. And I'm more testing for say beachfront land, a temporal allocation. No, you be allocated a beach land does not mean say you get ownership or lease or title deed to the land. It is clearly stated that the beach line policy say, and as and where government need it take back the place because we believe say beach property now government are the people of Sierra Leone where government they take care for the people of Sierra Leone. Nobody no go private beach. So this land were allocated to them on a temporary basis for build temporary structure, wooden structure as in the guideline. And we also state that there should be a proper waste management mechanism. But what we can realize, the majority of these beach bars operators, they violate. They are not in compliance with the beach policy guidelines. We go to the beach, they see all kind waste, all kind thing that they happen. We and only for talker, we all they go to the beach. Some of us can do them short videos there, what we can send to we can see how the beach day. So one of the things what we decide say we get for enforce the beach guideline policy and for ensure say operators they abide and apply to this beach bar policy. Until the policy don't say anybody where not adhere for either demolish or withdraw depending on what thing we want for do. So that is what we have been doing. So the demolition process where they go on, it was rather very interactive. We not just got one day we say we they demolish. Okay, several engagements will be held with beach bar operators and the property owners there. Property owner then are the one that will build at the permanent site. Their hotels them to the wetland area. Then are the permanent places there. But then they also get vested interest at the beach side because we give them space for put them small beach bar or umbrellas them for them guests the way they can at the hotel. So we grant them that. So we had series of meetings where we informed them of government intention for restructure the beach for let it meet up to international standard and also for address issue of the environmental degradation as well. We get these meetings with them. I go say we get 3 meetings now the Ministry of Tourism We also get another 3 meeting and National Tourist Board, and the operators then say get your independent meeting where they invite we own staff, the planning and development manager, Mr. Woody, for be part of that meeting at Jala venue. And then SEF come with their own suggestion how then things say they want to let the beach go. And if I can talk say small thing, but then they say they want to see a sustainable beach management system and a proper toilet system implemented. They want to see the stop of street trading, hawkers them. Now we collaborate with City Council for effects that. They also want to see a proper security system at the beach because normally beach now we one of the most iconic beach in Sierra Leone. They also suggest say for now we give a dedicated spot to what you go call SME community-based tourism for local vendors, fruit, vegetable seller, but that should be done in a proper way by government, not to any kind thing. Okay, then say the beach bars the way they did and too boku, and some not get any proper standard. They no one for sale and the one for low get some reduction of the beach bars.
Sorry,
of course, there should be no story building.
Sorry if I can interrupt small. Them beach bars they already talk about so for which demolition ongoing. Yeah. Now which area then specifically for Fambula we don't know.
Now the beach front, now Lumley Beach.
Now Lumley Beach.
Yes, we started with Lumley Beach.
Una don't start with Lumley Beach.
Yes.
How many structures do una don't put on so far?
We do it in 3 phases. We don't do the phase 1, 30 structures has been demolished.
Okay.
We also don't send letter of notification to about 39 beach bars more to go.
Na Lumley.
Yeah, Lumley Beach.
Okay, done at phase 1.
Yeah.
But they on the right now.
No, phase 1 we don't do na phase 2 we did.
Okay.
We don't send the letter of
Go come on
notification.
Lumley Beach. You intend for go na other areas them? So beach then there?
Yes, we
Because
intend.
we're seeing a lot along Godrich now, not so?
Yeah, with the
On the
from
other
there,
side,
with the go,
and Brentford.
Lebuma and other
Okay.
areas there for clearly
Okay.
for ensure so we get a proper beach system. That's Salone. So we agree about that. So as I say, when the demolition for starts in September, we started sending letters for regarding the demolition for compliance of face demolition. Also, we also use traditional and social media engagement. We have done extensively. Most people in Naya, we use the radio station. Myself, when at the GM, don't appear now. Spaces like 98, SABC, we don't go AYV, different platform there. Not only me staff there, and even some staff of the ministry as well, go and also for talk about the demolition exercise. We also don't do public notices along the Lumley Beach for engage people there, for tell them one-on-one. I can't with me, Timia, we will give you evidence of some of those engagements what we don't do for for tell and say we they demolish because of non-compliance. And they tell you sometimes you're going to have some beach, but they're not going to proper toilet facility. You they see the waste, they come off the toilet waste, they go inside the beach. And one of the things that we international press they condemn we about, even when Budapest come, they say where you go now we beach, it tell like say now snake they round now your body. You understand? Say it's not safe for swim, and it's not been so trading. This is because of waste where we don't be a problem. Now we beaches then they're like today. So that's that inform the demolition of the beach bars then. Okay. Which, of course, as I say, we have done a lot of engagement. So I will stop for now.
Thank you.
We could continue as the press conference.
Until una self don hear say indeed the tourist board in number 1 person there I don't confirm say and they put down structures them and then go continue for do more of them kind of thing and they if they not comply with written their own rules and regulations, not so?
Say if they don't comply, we begin them, they not comply with the policy. And the policy guidelines say if they not comply, we demolish and we move them from the beach.
Now the same thing they say. The reason we make when they put them down now because they not comply with something. Yeah? And the tourist board for which the ministry go overarching which I would like say control over on a set up on a guidelines, the one that will not fit the one and they after all of them several conversations then they on I don't put them down and I'll continue for go across. So it's not only Lumley Beach, but then also Lebuma and other places then because I'm sure then concerns that you express now concerns them where plenty people they see on a daily basis. Where then they go on them beach then they. So it's not new. I mean, it is good that Unadom come to the realization, says some action need to be taken. I go all on a day for now. There are a lot of questions. So 2 weeks back, when I do my own inaugural press conference as host, I be on sports, and Boku journalists, they're not to their own specialty. Then they watch no more. They go watch Liverpool, Arsenal, Leone Star, but for say for no the nuances and all that, and so it was limited in terms of question. We'll get a lot of questions today. One that we don't come first online. National public health emergency. Number one, say, are there neighboring regions or countries with similar polio outbreak? And if there's evidence of cross-border transmission. 2, what strategic steps the national public health emergency has to implement to curtail the spread of polio virus? The other one say, how is the National Health Agency planning to address the suspected cases of polio in the country? Are there any specific strategies or program in place? I know so you don't talk small team more than they, but you continue for Rob Mott Small. How the agency they work with local healthcare facilities and professionals to identify and diagnose polio and hepatitis cases promptly. Can you provide information on the program of ongoing research related to polio and hepatitis in the country? And say with the rise in hepatitis cases, what measures the agency don't take for create awareness and educate public? Create awareness and educate the public about prevention and treatment. Are there any plans for collaborate with international health organizations and experts for tackle all right, okay. I think it's at the end. Black hands to the Ministry of Tourism and National Tourist Board. Can you highlight any ongoing or upcoming projects that aim to make the experience for tourists even more enjoyable and convenient? Are there any plans for improve the quality of accommodation, transportation facilities, and tourist attraction? What specific steps will I don't take for attract more tourists in this country? And to that end, I don't know, I could just try to see if I can press the minister a little on that day. Do we have, and if we do, if you will make that available now, if not, I mean, if we not get on an official platform, or through the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, their own platform, waiting at the turnover of tourists, say for the last 2-3 years, like where they show some direction and also your intent for taking to, I mean, at this material point in time. If you're able to throw light on efforts being made for enhanced tourism and the talk about infrastructure in Salone, tourism infrastructure in Salone. Any initiative for promote sustainable and eco-friendly tourism practice in Salone with concerns about the environment, it would be fantastic to know. How will the tourism board assist small business owners who were affected by the demolition exercise, looking at the economic situation at the country? So these are some of the questions that we don't get online. And I think so we'll go first to Professor Safode, because this polio business is an emergency. Let's talk small bottom and answer to the questions indirectly.
Thank you, Mr. Sila. I think the first one, if this case, the polio case, they exist now, the neighboring country, yes, this is now vaccine-derived polio virus variant where it exists currently in Guinea, Liberia, and other African countries. So, too unique to Sierra Leone. Then steps where the MPH don't take for curtail the spread of the polio virus and plans to address suspected cases. It fall within preparedness as a country. The Sierra Leone as a country don't invest a lot of resources for strengthening the health infrastructure for respond effectively to public health emergencies. one example now, the establishment of the National Public Health Agency by His Excellency the President. Then also with a continuously strengthening with disease surveillance architecture, so that the surveillance system, the attempt for capture events in real time. We also don't develop clear protocols for guide a coordinated response with defined roles and responsibilities for all who stakeholders them. Also, we engage in education, outreach programs, collaboration with community leaders and organizations, because we now realize them very critical for empower the communities so that they will participate in any outbreak and the control of any outbreak. We train with health workers them for respond to outbreaks, and we value the partnership. These are some ways of way. And one of the questions then, yes, indeed, we partner with international organizations and neighboring countries for share information and best practices, and also for share resources. The NPHA, yes, we work with local health facilities and professionals for identify and diagnose polio, not only polio, but all infectious diseases. Now, make us say, we work the ride on the present architecture of the primary health care and the Ministry of Health. So they use the least worker and the PHU for actually work with them for improve with disease diagnosis and response to any outbreak. For hepatitis, yes, hepatitis is not a problem. Just like any infectious disease, the NPHA, they look at, I'm only working in isolation with work to Ministry of Health and Sanitation. So what we need for do for curtail or for mitigate the spread of hepatitis, community engagement, education, then refresher training for health workers, and formally realize this an emergency and how to prevent them, so that they can be training trainers for the communities. And research, what they conduct, not only restricted to polio and hepatitis. The National Public Health Agency, since we establishment in December by His Excellency the President, one of the main pillars them now the research pillar. We collaborate with universities and other institutions, both national and international, so that they respond to cases based on science. Now, a science-based organization. So whatever they do, we don't just do it arbitrarily. We do them because of the science behind it. So in effect, yes, the risk of hepatitis there, but the agency, they do everything possible for make sure we curtail them just like any other infectious disease. Thank you.
All right. I'll tell you plenty. Thank you. I'll pan out to Minister Madam Nabila. One more question they will go they make public. And say also, within the tourism minister intake on the demolition of tangible heritage monuments, a hill station for the construction of the Turkish and Saudi embassies. So I want to add that one day to the other questions that I don't read for you before Mrs. Steinself will get your bite on the questions that were there for him. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. First of all, let's start with the questions in sequence. You say for highlight any upcoming projects where we don't do for make tourism more attractive. First of all, we get the Tourism for All campaign. We're a targeted campaign for this year, 2024. And a campaign we seek for share knowledge about tourism, because when we don't study other touristic destinations like the Gambia, where you go there, each and every person we meet on the street, they understand about tourism. Then they protect the industry because they know they're in bread basket. So we want for less Sierra Leoneans a way, the first thing where you go get, where you talk about Salone, where stranger than the member, now the beauty of the country and the friendliness of the people. So we feel to say we get our good resource now. So the Tourism for All campaign, they seek for increased knowledge among the Salone people. And how you do that, Andy? If you don't notice for the past couple of months, we don't increase engagement on the media. We send out them short videos, we do a lot of media engagement. They go in our facilities, for promote them facilities, and most of them facilities they don't already report an increase in the traffic. One thing we want for do for make this country self-sufficient, now for promote domestic tourism. Just imagine what it will be like if we're able for promote domestic tourism, where the local economy go they move. So people then go they come on a Freetown, then they go spend money in a Kenema can Freetown, the money now they go out, and people and they come in from Liberia and Guinea, because the assets and products and where we get now, they other country they not get them, and it's easy for access Sierra Leone. So now through the Tourism for All campaign, we seek for share knowledge. We also seek for make people then move for sabi touristic sites now the country. Through Dande, we don't discover additional places like I be mentioned Wotumba, where we don't day already, but they not we don't see them from a touristic lens. We get another place now Port Local, where the permanent secretary and director of culture then be lead. Dande, I think with the deputy minister, then be lead the visitation, where be facilitated by the we revert paramount chief nada area day, then go discover another island where na potential place for development, where we can get a touristic facility there. So, and aside from that, we get the support from the World Bank, where then they develop some of the heritage sites then. So the Tourism for All campaign really now for share knowledge, now for encourage we Sierra Leoneans and for move from one place to the other, now for also let we get a tourism-centric approach. So businesses and hotels and self-way day, how they go make sure say their hotel then they deviate small from the business aspect and go into a tourism approach. Like for instance, you get a hotel with 100 bedroom, you just get for use electricity anyway, and your electricity cost maybe could be a certain amount. But how we can get that hotel for begin things, say lower your price, get more people in for utilize your facility, and then you go able for break even. So now then kind of thing that they would do for encourage people then for get into that hang of having a tourism centric attitude. And then the Tourism for All campaign also they seek for heights and partnerships. Then just ask we waiting at the specific steps we don't take for attract more tourists. In tourism now, one of the sector then they will rely on partnerships with other sectors then. So like with the Ministry of Transport, with the Ministry of Lands, with the Ministry of Environment, we rely on an active partnership with them for let tourism go thrive. So if we look at airfares, Dande now it fall within the Ministry of Transport in domain. So this Tourism for All campaign, they also seek for encourage partnerships around a shared objective and a shared vision when I promote tourism. So when I say specific steps where we don't take for attract tourists, I will come back to the TFA campaign, because we see Sierra Leoneans as well as tourists, and we also they look at the international tourists. But again, if you look at all the engagements, at the trade fairs, Usai we don't go, because of the aggressiveness, and we're not they just sit on small now we stand. We very engaging as well, because we don't engage a lot. You find out say we get heightened interest in the Sierra Leonean stands and where they now then trade fairs them. So like this one where we just come on, we able for record a record for the first time 1,631 people and then Canada the Sierra Leone stand during the ITB where we just come out last week. So then we don't they promote Sierra Leoneans as well, where they do exceptionally well, at the international scene. So when I go see, we don't post information about the one day where they do well, in gastronomy, the Fatmata Bintas, the Chef Nimas, the Maria Bradford. Then thing and the way they do then steps and they make with the turn, the spotlight on Sierra Leone. I don't mention already what they do for build the structure as well. These are all steps we take for attract more tourists, because professionalism, predictability, hygiene as well as something. Beach self-cleaning, if you not see minister, permanent secretary, deputy minister, all staff, then they go clean the beach. And some of the things that we can get for play with, now human excretion, now we can get for play with where we they clean the beach. If we not see where they go to that length, and for just let we inculcate, a practice for let we they keep replaced and clean, for let we go able for attract more tourists, because God don't already give we the prevailing environment. You asked me as well about the turnover of tourists. For last year, I think it was about 96,000, and then they largely due to because of the the small issues that where we get the elections. Normally people can shy away from countries and where they undergo elections, and because again of the November 26th. So I want to use this opportunity again for tell me fumble them Naya say tourism they only thrive well in a place usai peace day. So if we can all take them upon we self, and focus on Dande for say we all stand for benefit, because everybody gets a own God-given talent where if it is harnessed to a certain level, it will be an additional source of income. So let we not try for jeopardize Dande where we did go before as tourism people and tourism advocates. Let we find where we're able to maintain peace, because that 96,000, it dropped from the previous year, the 2022, it was about 114,000. So we get a slight dip, and we aim now for just increase as we go. So from 114, it dropped to about 96 or so thousand within the year because of the external factors. We more or less, not they within we own control as Sierra Leoneans, for manage them better. You also talk about eco-friendly tourism practices. I mentioned that the waiting we do as well, going on the beach, and then we also get this Pro Blue Go Circular week where we've been doing a couple of weeks ago, where we get hotels and we engaged as early adopters, where then they do recycling and then they pay them for that recycling. Premier Environ Solution, a private company, then they pay people where they collect plastic bag. So do you are not away on a plastic, then they don't get a value right now. We also get ecologies, I must say. We get ecologies, in the interior of so many areas. TY, Gola is over. Wara Wara, we get ecologies, and then we just come on our Wara mountain. We go take a look, at the establishments where they did. And then the other thing where you ask, which is a bit complex, I have to say. Now, waiting at the view of tourism, about the current demolition. Now, I'm speaking from the perspective of tourism. Definitely from the perspective of tourism, nobody no go want for they see, artifacts and monuments, taken away. Yeah, that is from the perspective of tourism. But again, from the perspective of governance, I cannot comment on Dande because certainly other factors then can come into play where they inform decisions. But we as a ministry don't register with concerns, especially based on the concerns that were raised by the general public. Like I say, things that can happen for alter decisions and actions. Probably there are times where we self within the tourism industry, we don't kind of improve based on we interaction them where we get on a regular basis with some of the interlocutors the way they beyond Sierra Leone. They inform we and we they make adjustments. It's possible, say with the current rise in voices around that, it's possible that maybe government will consider a rounded view for Handulam. But yes, from a tourism perspective, from a cultural preservation perspective, we really would wish, that an alternative can be put forward, rather than having to demolish. This is from a tourism perspective, please. Thank you very much.
Well, I tell you plenty. Thank you. I know say there might be a few questions for Fatmata Keru, but which we will do, we're going to now come to the hall and journalists are there now for ask their own questions. So we'll do the first 5. I just want to know the rules then by now. No superstar not there. The only superstar that will get now, I don't want to there. Mrs. Safode now not a superstar. The minister, Professor Safode, and Fatmata Keru. And I also passionate if I see woman they are up, always get the tendency for make sure so they ask them questions. So first 5. 1. Mr. Kamara, I now on a superstar. You go allow him for dribble small. Yeah. And there is a lady at the back. 3, 4, 5, Beshe. Now start with this lady front.
Good afternoon. Maggie Kagbo from Ivy Blog Online TV. Well, this question will go to Madam Minister. How you will see, because we get different universities there where they study tourism and when they deal with professionalism. How you go able to see, say you collaborate with them students there for see, say you see tourism that are front face where you want for see tourism at Salone.
Thank you. 2. The other lady at the back.